Hi there, this is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone. And in this quick video, I would like to share with you how to get ready for CapitalOne Employment Assessment Test. CapitalOne is a financial services company that offers various banking, credit, and loan products to consumers and businesses. As part of their hiring process, CapitalOne may require candidates to take an employment assessment test to evaluate their skills, abilities, and fit for the job. CapitalOne Employment Assessment Test typically consists of 4 sections. Number 1 is Numerical Reasoning Test. This section assesses your ability to work with numbers and perform calculations quickly and accurately. Number 2 is Verbal Reasoning. In this section, you are being assessed on the ability to understand written information and make logical conclusions based on the information you are being presented. Number 3 is Situational Judgment. In this section, CapitalOne assesses your ability to make sound judgments and decisions in work-related situations. And last but not least, number 4 is Personality Assessment. In this section, company assesses your personality traits and how they may align with company's culture and job requirements. What's important to note is that the content of CapitalOne Employment Assessment Test may vary depending on the position you're applying for. In this video, we'll focus on CapitalOne Numerical Reasoning and CapitalOne Verbal Reasoning Test questions, but you can watch other videos on this channel to learn more about CapitalOne Situational Judgment Test and CapitalOne Personality Assessments. Let's go ahead and get started. Most likely, you will not be able to pass the test without getting questions similar to this one. You're presented with the 3 sets of numbers. Each set has 3 numbers in the group, and 1 number is missing. The first set has numbers 6, 4, and 34. The second set has numbers 8, 5, and 53. And the last set has numbers 9, 2, and the final last number in the third set is missing. You need to calculate the missing number and select it out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 34. Choice B, 29. Choice C, 63. Choice D, 41. Take a close look to see if you can complete the calculations. I'm going to give you a quick hint. See if there's a relationship between the top 2 numbers and the bottom number. But this is about as much as I'm going to give you, because I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think there is a very interesting and unusual pattern here between the top 2 numbers and the bottom number. In fact, the lower number is calculated as a result of multiplications plus the sum of additions of the upper numbers. Let's look at the example. For example, the first set of numbers is calculated as 6 multiplied by 4 plus sum of 6 and 4, which would equal 24 plus 10 and equals 34. The next set of numbers is calculated as 8 multiplied by 5 plus sum of 8 and 5, which would equal 40 plus 13, which would be equal to 53. This allows us to do the calculations on the final set and the missing number. 9 multiplied by 2 plus the sum of 9 and 2 equals 18 plus 11 and equals 29. So the correct answer here is choice B, 29. Did you figure it out? Please make sure to post your answer and solution if you have a different one in comments. Here's a very interesting question to test your spatial reasoning skills. You need to find the missing item, question mark, to build a symmetrical shape. And you're presented with the square that has a gap inside and 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can select the right answer. Ready or not, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. What's interesting about this question is that all objects will fit into the gap, but not all combinations are symmetrical. Let me demonstrate this. Let's try choice A. As you can see, it fits perfectly. Let's try choice B, C, and D, and as you can see, they all fit into the gap. So to answer the question correctly, we need to understand what is symmetrical. And the definition of symmetrical objects or shapes is that they have identical halves that mirror each other. And the definition of symmetrical objects or shapes is that they have identical halves that mirror each other. And if we operate using that definition, the only correct answer is choice D. Let's verify this. Let's draw a line in the middle of the final object where we fill the gap. And as you can see, the objects on the left and on the right are the same across the line. Did you come up with the different solution in your calculations? Please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. Here's the very interesting question which tests your analytical reasoning and spatial reasoning skills. You're presented with 3 equations. Each equation has some unusually looking chopped objects. In the 3rd equation, the final result of the calculation is missing and represented as a question mark. You need to determine what item replaces the question mark. And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can complete the calculations. Are you ready? Because I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. What's interesting about this question is that items in the equation contain pieces of the puzzle, but final piece of the puzzle, which represents complete object, is missing. Let's look at the example. The first set of objects represent a tree, but we do not see the final piece. In fact, if we rearrange the objects and combine them, we will create an equation which we typically see in our minds. 3 pieces of the tree create a complete piece of the final tree. The same is true for the second object, which represents an apple. If we rearrange and combine the objects, we will get a very good-looking apple. Same is true for the third object, which represents a coffee cup with the coffee beans. If we rearrange the objects and select the correct choice, which is choice C, we will get a complete picture in our mind of coffee cup and coffee beans. Did you figure it out? Please post your experiences of solving this interesting and unusual question in comments. I get a lot of questions on how to improve your pattern recognition skills. Let me share with you 3 common patterns we frequently see on the test. Let's start with triangular numbers. Triangular numbers are the numbers that can be represented as a sum of consecutive integers starting with 1. For example, the first 5 triangular numbers would be 1, 3, 6, 10, and 15. Next one on my list are square numbers. Square numbers are the numbers that can be represented by a product of a number multiplied by itself. For example, the first 5 square numbers are 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. Because 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, and 5 square is 25. And last but not least on my list are cube numbers. Cube numbers are numbers that can be represented as a product of a number multiplied by itself twice. For example, the first 5 cube numbers are 1, 8, 27, 64, and 125. Because 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, and 5 cube is 125. Do you know any other interesting numerical patterns I didn't mention here? Please make sure to post them in comments so we can all learn. And now let's continue to get you ready for the test. Here's a phenomenal question where you need to find the missing number. You're presented with almost 3 by 3 shape, which contains evergreen trees, numbers, and the question mark. Based on what you see, you need to calculate the missing number, and you have 4 different choices. Choice A, 2, choice B, 7, choice C, 3, and choice D, 4. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the logic and the answer. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, what we see on the picture are mathematical expressions. For example, the sum of 2 evergreen trees is tree, which is represented by the top row. The same is true for the middle column. Sum of 2 evergreen trees equals to 6, which means that 1 evergreen tree equals to 3. Now we can calculate the missing number, which would be the result of 5 minus 3, which would be equal to 2. So the correct answer here is choice A, 2. Did you come up with the different answer? Please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. To get ready for an assessment test, You want to make sure that you practice with the tests that most accurately resemble the actual assessment. This is why we partnered with the best vendor in the industry, Job Test Prep, known for accuracy in their practice assessments. Job Test Prep tests are designed to simulate the actual employment assessment used by many companies. One of the key advantages of using Job Test Prep tests is that they closely mirror the format, content, and difficulty level of the actual assessment tests. To start practicing using Job Test Prep assessments, please type the link in your browser howtoanalyzedata.net/jobtestprep or use links in the description of this video. And now let's continue to get you ready for the assessment test. Here's the problem some people might find challenging, but in reality, it's very easy to solve. You're presented with the circle broken down into 8 sections. In each section, there is a number, and in one section, number is missing, and you need to calculate the missing number. If we start with the 8 o'clock, the numbers that are present are 39, 5, 9, 8, 13, 15, 3, and then comes the missing number. You need to calculate the missing number out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 20, choice B, 24, choice C, 30, and choice D, 36. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can calculate the solution. I hope you did it successfully and have your selection, because I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer is choice B, 24. And here's why. I think the number on the opposite sides of the circle sections are 3 times larger than the numbers on the other side. Let's take a close look. For example, the numbers on the opposite sides of the 5 o'clock section and 10 o'clock sections are 3 and 9. And 9 is 3 times larger than 3. The next set of numbers is 5 and 15. And 5 multiplied by 3 equals 15. The next set is 13 and 39. And obviously, if you multiply 13 by 3, you will get to 39. Let's take a look at the missing number. Because number 8, which is on the opposite section, cannot be a result of multiplication of any number by 3, this means that the missing number is a result of 8 multiplied by 3 equals 24. This is why I think the correct answer here is choice B, 24. Did your calculations lead you to the same answer? If they didn't, please make sure to share your answer and solution in comments. Improving your pattern recognition skills is the key to pass the test. It will help you to solve problems faster and better understand the test format. It also enhances your critical thinking skills and boosts your confidence. There are many different types of numerical patterns, each one with the unique characteristics and applications. Let me give you some examples of the most common numerical patterns. One of the most popular patterns is arithmetic sequence. The arithmetic sequence is the sequence of numbers where each term is obtained by adding a fixed number called the common difference to the previous term. For example, numbers 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 represent arithmetic sequence with a common difference of 3. Number 2 on the list would be geometric sequence. A geometric sequence is a sequence of numbers where each term is obtained by multiplying the previous term by a fixed number called a common ratio. Let's look at the example. Numbers 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32 represent geometric sequence with a common ratio of 2. And last but not least on my list is Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence is a sequence of numbers where each term is obtained by adding the 2 previous terms together, starting with 0. For example, the first 10 terms in the Fibonacci sequence would be 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and 34. Do you know any other interesting numerical patterns I didn't mention here? Please make sure to post them in comments so we can all learn. And now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Here's a tricky problem which you might find challenging to solve. You're presented with 3 images and you need to find the missing number. All 3 images have berms and evergreen trees on top of the berms. First two of the images have numbers 15 and 50 at the bottom, and the third image is missing the number and instead has a question mark, which you need to calculate and select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 74. Choice B, 98. Choice C, 109. And last but not least, choice D, 117. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have calculated, the correct answer here is choice D, 117. Let's take a close look why. If you take a close look at the images, you will see that each image contains trees, each tree contains a certain number of branches, and trees are placed on the berms. The pattern is calculated as number of trees multiplied by number of branches on the trees, and you incrementally add the number of berms to calculate the number at the bottom. Let's look closely at each one of the images. First image has 2 trees with 7 branches and 1 berm, and the calculation would be 2 multiplied in parentheses 3 plus 4 plus 1, which would be an equivalent of 14 plus 1 equals 15. Second image has 4 trees with 12 branches and 2 berms, and the calculations will be 4 multiplied in parentheses 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, and then you add 2 to the calculated value. The end result of this calculation for image 2 will be 50. For the third image, which has 6 trees with 19 branches and 3 berms, the calculations will be 6 multiplied 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, and then you add 3 to the calculated total. The end result of it, 117. Do you have a better solution to solve this challenge? Please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. I have a surprise for you. You need to solve the expression and find the missing number. You have 3 full expressions. Glove plus glove equals 20. Glove plus 2 socks equals 38. Glove plus sock plus hat equals 39. And the last expression where you need to calculate the missing number is hat multiplied by sock plus glove equals the missing number. So what is the missing number? You need to calculate and select out of 4 different choices. Choice A, 135. Choice B, 220. Choice C, 165. And choice D, 360. Do you know the answer? Once you calculate it, please make sure to post it in comments. This would allow me to give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's an amazing question to test your math skills. You need to calculate the value by multiplying the number of coins in the cent clock by the number of dollar signs at the top and at the bottom. And calculations should be one of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 190. Choice B, 200. Choice C, 210. And choice D, 230. Take a close look, maybe do mental math to see if you can come up with the solution. The key here, though, is not to overthink it. To solve it correctly, we need to count the coins. Let's start by counting coins at the top. There should be 7 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 8 coins at the bottom. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there are $7 signs at the top and $7 signs at the bottom. So the total calculation would be 15 coins multiplied by $14 signs, and the total would be 210. So the correct answer here is choice C, 210. Did you solve it on your own? Please make sure to share your experiences in comments. Thanks for watching. If the content was helpful, please give us a like and consider subscribing. This is the way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure to deliver it for you in the future. For links and resources referenced in this video, please check the description. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to find what you're looking for and download the materials. We really thank you for your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. and all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.